Welcome. We are speaking with the CEO and founder of Corporate Sufi. We're going to be learning about how to acquire and keep corporate Sufi habits. Azim, welcome today.
Thank you, Salim. It's nice to be in your city.
We are in South Africa and we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to touch 7 different topics today. We're going to talk about habits that CEOs and executives can really incorporate into their lives. Let's start with the basics. You are the founder of a concept called Corporate Sufi. Let's introduce our audience on Corporate Sufi.
So the name was derived by, who I am as a person. I came out in the corporate world. I was a senior accountant. I had 3 professional accounting degrees. I worked with many corporates in terms of strategizing their business. And so I have the corporate in me. But I also been meditating for the last 45 years, very early in the morning. So I have this Sufi concept of peace, calm. And so the corporate Sufi model was perfect for who I am as a person. That was the basis of which the name was derived.
We know that busy executives struggle with balance. You're very particular in how balance is created within the corporate Sufi mindset. Talk to us about that.
So even the word corporate and Sufi are 2 worlds apart. One is very spiritual, one is very material. And by combining the 2, you're getting the balance issue. Salim, what I've found is I've traveled, as you know, to more than 100 cities in 5 continents, spoken to more than 1 million people. I coach many CEOs. Every leader I've worked with has primarily 3 challenges. The first challenge is that business is always a work in progress. It's never a finished product. No matter how, even if you talk to Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson or Tim Cook, it's still a work in progress. It's never a finished product. So business is a challenge for most executives. They're always getting better and better in their journey. Then as you talk to them, they're juggling their health, their family, their spirituality, their lifelong learning, their finances, their work. How do you keep everything in the air? So the balance issue comes in. How do I balance it? Every leader faces that. And the more successful and the more busy you are, the more you struggle with that. And then as you keep talking, you find out the third challenge is that deep desire to find meaning, to find purpose, to find happiness, to find fulfillment, what I do. So every leader struggles with these 3 things. So corporate Sufi really is a synergy of business, balance and beyond. Being successful in business, having a good balance in life, and also having the beyond, the purpose and meaning and fulfillment.
Excellent. It sounds very simple, but as an entrepreneur, it doesn't work like that. Life is not so simple that I can just put buckets. There are times I have to focus on my business. There are times that I don't actually spend enough time with my family. And I know I'm being, negligent of some of my duties or responsibilities because my eye is on my business. So what are some habits that I should be thinking of to make sure that the balance, at least the balance at that time, is the right balance? And I suspect balance changes depending on where I am in my life.
I think the important thing is if you were told, Salim, that your whole life is judged by today, your business, your family, your spirituality, your health, your lifelong learning, your finance, just today. Today is the only day that counts. And if you take each day as one day at a time and wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be the best day of my life. And then you focus, so now you know I've got 24 hours to work with and I need to invest some time with my family. I need to invest some time with my health. I'll give you an example. I just met recently a couple, I coached a man and the wife is also involved in the business. They have 3 young kids. So I asked her, if they could do one thing in your household that would be the biggest impact, what would that be? So she said, I would give nutrition to my kids. That's very important for me. I said, if you could do 2 things in your family, what would you do? She said, play with the kids, because I'm always chores, and I'm always playing with them. So they look at me as a taskmaster as opposed to somebody I want to love and play with and have joy with. I said, if you do 3 things, what would you do? She said, put them to bed and tell them stories, or put them bedtime reading. I said, okay, so you have a maid at home, you have 3 kids, make sure the nutrition is right, takes you half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, taking care of that. Play an hour with the kids, in terms of just play and do nothing else, and half an hour put them to sleep at night. And the rest, don't worry, leave it status quo. These 3 areas are the ones you focus on. So now it's so simple for her to do 3 things as opposed to worry about 40 things I'm doing every day in my household. So if you're looking at today as the most important day of your life and you structure your day in such a way, less becomes more. And we'll talk about it more in the goal setting part and time management part later. But I think that's what you need to do, is to take one day at a time.
So for busy executives, the habit you seem to be implying is goal setting and then looking at things day by day. But we make 5-year plans. We've got a very clear plan of how we're going to get there in 5 years. And when you talk about the hierarchy of needs, which you seem to be implying, money often comes at the top. I need to make money because, by the way, if I don't have enough money, I can't send my kids to the best schools, can't buy the house, can't do what I need to do. So how do I balance, you're talking about balance, my need to provide with my expectations of me in the business?
Great question. So we're talking about having a vision, 5-year vision, 10-year vision, pie in the sky, whatever it is. And we're talking about how do you think of that and how do you become in the moment in the day when you have so much to worry about. So there's something called, in the corporate Sufi world, a beautiful meeting point. The beautiful meeting point is your vision is so clear that somebody wakes you up at 2 in the morning, you can tell them. But yet, when I'm talking to you right now, my vision is very clear. I say my vision every morning, every night loudly, sometimes a few times a day. My parents used to know it when they were alive. My wife knows it, my kids know it because I say it loudly every day. So my vision is very clear, but when I'm talking to you right now, I'm not thinking about my vision. I'm totally present in what you're asking me. But guess what? Whatever I'm saying is totally aligned to my vision. So the beautiful meeting point is the vision is there, and yet I'm in the moment, and they both are aligned. And that's the beauty, that's the power.
I'm told that there is a concept that if you're struggling to define your own vision, maybe keep a word, keep a thought, keep a principle, keep a value as your guiding principle or as your guiding light. Can you shed some light on that?
People think that, for example, if I say that my goal is to be authentic, forget everything else. And so I'm guided by, I'm talking to you, am I authentic? Do I mean what I say? Or I'm just trying to sugarcoat things to have a good interview? Or am I really getting to the root of the issue because I want to be authentic? So that's quite powerful actually, because then, anytime you are stuck with a decision, you go back and ask yourself, am I authentic? If I'm talking to Greg, about something, am I authentic? But goal setting also has a value, and we'll see how the two combine. But yeah, I think there's not a bad thing to have. My daughter has the word intuition, for example. She has chosen the word intuition this year. So whatever she does, she goes with her gut feeling.
So we're going to be talking about 7 habits. What is the one habit we're going to take out of this first session?
So the first one is about balance, right? And we're talking about how do you inculcate the habit of balance. So I think first of all, realize that there are many aspects of your life. There is your work, there is your finance, there is your lifelong learning, and there is your health, there is your family, and there's your spirituality. So you have all these areas in your life that in somehow doesn't have to be equal measures, but it has to be somehow, aligned. So if you take one day at a time, it becomes easier. Yeah. Before you sleep at night, prioritize your key areas you want to focus on. If you take 3 things in your business world, which includes your finance, your lifelong learning, and your work, and 3 things in your personal, which is your family, health, and spirituality, and can achieve these 3 here and these 3 there, your day is a wow. If you do 30 things, not a wow. So it makes it a bit more easier for you. So the habit, how do you create this habit? Before you go to sleep at night, decide tomorrow is my most important day of my life. And what are the 3 things I want to do in my business that has the biggest bang for my buck? What are the 3 things I want to do in my personal life, which has the biggest bang for my buck? And if you can get this habit going, it's phenomenal. And it's not rocket science. All you have to do is to make sure that you evaluate your day by day, what you're learning and what you can do better.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that habit with us.
So I hope you benefited from the 7 habits we've talked about with Salim and myself. And they are life-changing habits. And if you implement in your life, it can be a huge benefit for you. It's been a huge benefit for me. They're not easy to make it as natural as breathing and become a master at it. And that's why we're offering this program to help you implement in such a way that you become a master at them, so they can be lifelong habits for you, which can be transformational in your life. So thank you for being here, and we're looking forward to our workshops and weekly exercises with you.